Hey, welcome in.
Welcome to the Arrowhead Addict podcast.
We are here coming to you live.
Let me tell you, the dopamine, it's flowing.
I am damn excited. Damn excited.
We are so excited to be joining you guys tonight.
Oh! Well, how you doing, man? Patrick.
Will Sterling.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion, two-time Pro Bowler, and Trent Green. Trent Green, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
He picked it up! He picked it up! He's gonna
And we'll see you next week. But until then, as always, go Chiefs. Welcome into the Arrowhead Addict podcast. It is July 17th, Thursday. That means it's time for the OG hour here with the OG himself, Matt Verderame, back on the show once again after the holidays, after a little back procedure. How you feeling, buddy? It's good to have you back on.
Yeah, thanks. Good. Feeling fine. Happy football is back. And, football is back immediately when a Chargers receiver retired and the other one is holding out. And so it's back. Everything's back. Everything's back to normal.
Everything's back to normal. Mike Williams. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. I think Mike Williams is a really, good receiver, and I really enjoyed watching him play. But he comes back to the Chargers, and he's going to start on the pup or whatever, and it's just like the guy's just like, forget it. It's a bummer when injuries derail a career of a talented player.
It is. I mean, unfortunately for Mike Williams, I feel like that was just the story of his career. I mean, not that he didn't have good moments, but he's just hurt all the time. Just constantly injured. And now, that leaves the Chargers with a room that is. I have no idea who's going to catch a pass other than Ladd McConkey. They lost Joshua Palmer. This isn't a Chargers show, but they're going to be short on receiving talent. I think that's a fair thing to say outside of him. I mean, McConkey is going to be targeted 170 times. I think he's almost guaranteed or something like that. But the Chiefs have their own problems at receiver currently. So, listen, maybe it's an AFC West thing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all that. We've got a great show lined up for you all. Tons of news to get to with Verderame here. We got the Rashee Rice thing. As George Karlaftis. We're going to talk Trent McDuffie, obviously the Trey Smith deal. And then we're going to play a fun little game of Chiefs start, sit, cut. So I'm going to throw 3 Chiefs at Verderame, and he's going to decide whether he wants to start them, keep them on the bench as a backup, or cut them. Should be a lot of fun. I try to make it kind of hard, not too obvious. So we'll see how we do with that. And then we'll do Paddy's Power Rankings at the end. Verderame, start thinking about it now. We're going to do road trip snacks. And you just got back from a road trip, so this should all be fresh in your mind. Yeah. All right, before we get to the meat of the show, I've got to let you know that since summer is here, more sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer is spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor meals come in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. It helps you make good decisions. You guys know me. I got a 13-month-old at home. I don't have time to even think about it. I want to spend time with them when I get them from daycare. I don't want to be in the kitchen cooking. I use Factor. It's a great option for us. The food is good. We pop it in the oven. It's ready to go in just a few minutes, and then we're sitting down and we're eating. These meals arrive fresh. They're ready to eat. They're perfect if you got an active lifestyle. You got a small kid at home. They've got like tons of options. 45, I think it is, menu options that you can pick. Gourmet meals fit with your summer gains and goals. Just choose, if you're trying to lose weight or what your, get more protein because you're lifting. Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto. And then they'll send you food that fits into your diet. It's pretty awesome. So I've used this product. Sterling loves it. You got to check it out. You can go to factormeals.com/arrowhead50off and use the code arrowhead50off to get 50% off, free shipping on your first box. That's code arrowhead50off at factormeals.com/arrowhead50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/arrowhead50off. All right, let's dive into Chiefs talk. Thank you for supporting our sponsors, Factor. Verderame, Rashee Rice is going to jail. It's actually kind of an ideal situation for him because I don't know this exactly, but it seems like he gets to pick or schedule when he goes to jail. He's going to go to jail for 30 days because of if you've been living under a rock. He was in a drag racing incident last year, could have killed somebody, really dangerous, fled the scene, and has pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts. And he's got 5 years of probation and he's 30 days in jail. Is this the best possible outcome for Rashee Rice in this situation?
Yeah, because he could have killed about a half dozen people. So, honestly, good that he got 30 days in jail. He deserves to go to jail. He did something that is so stupid, it's almost beyond comprehension. And, I don't want to give these people who are like, well, he's young and he made a young mistake. I mean, there are a lot of people who are young who don't drag race over 100 miles an hour into a crowded highway. And then what I think, honestly, in some ways even worse, and then flee the scene. Like a complete coward. So good. I'm glad he got some jail time. He deserves it. He should be really, 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 really thankful that he's paying for some medical expenses that he can afford, or at least should be able to afford. And he should be really thankful that he's going to jail for 30 days, not 30 years, because he very easily could have been doing that. Look, as far as how it affects the Chiefs, if you want to sit here and talk about what the suspension is, I'm sure we will. I mean, it's the NFL. There is a range of outcomes. It's not like they have some cut and talk. It's this. I mean, there's a range, but him not being there is obviously going to hurt. He's the best offensive player on the team. And he's not going to. I mean, he is not going to be there for at least a little while.
Yeah, and look, it really does seem like sometimes the NFL just goes into a dark room and spins a wheel for suspensions. You never know what it's going to be. But for those who may not have been following along with this or have forgotten, it seemed like our legal system moves at a glacial pace, and the NFL usually with these types of situations, if it's it's not obvious, they let the court thing, the innocence and guilt thing in the legal system play out, and then they make their decision on the personal conduct policy and pass out a punishment. So I think as early as July here, he didn't have a criminal trial date set. So it sort of seemed like these things take time. Probably is going to be able to play the whole season out without facing suspension, and then he would be getting hit with whatever in 2026. But he didn't want this to go to trial, because he would have lost. So he took the deal and he pleads guilty. And so now the NFL can move on with this process. So in a lot of ways, it's unfortunate from a football perspective for the Chiefs. But I mean, maybe they're able to get this done for the start of the season where he's missing the first 4 or whatever X games and the Chiefs can prepare for it, which would probably be more ideal if you're a Chiefs fan than it coming randomly in the middle of the season or, God forbid, in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, there's truth in that. I'd also sit here and say, though, that their schedule to start the year is not exactly a walk in the park.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, now look, they should beat the Chargers and the Giants without him. I don't get, they lose to those 2 teams. And yes, even the Chargers are not good. The Chiefs should not lose to the Chargers. Certainly shouldn't lose to the Giants. Now, the Eagles and Ravens, who they see weeks 2 and 4, yeah, guess what? Those games are a lot harder now, because you don't have your best offensive player. You got a nice good look at what it looked like without Rashee Rice against the Eagles a few months ago. Now, granted, there were a lot more problems than just Rashee Rice not being in that game for the Chiefs. But, I mean, if he's out for 4 games, I'm not sitting here saying I think it's a defining line between whether or not they win against Baltimore, they win against, but it hurts. He's not going to be there. That being said, listen, he deserves what he got. And also, by the way, the Chiefs knew when they drafted him, there were character concerns, and they did it anyway. So, okay, well, this is what happens sometimes when you do stuff like that. I think, moving forward, you got to look at it now and go, all right, let's, whatever the games are, it was 4 games, 2 games, 6 games, whatever. I would imagine it's at least 4. Now you got to start looking at this thing and going, okay, well, guess what? Jalen Royals has got a lot more important potentially. because I have no idea who wide receiver 3 is on the team. Probably Juju. It's probably who it is, because they're going to want a guy who plays in the slot. Well, Juju does that. And they're going to want a guy who knows the offense and who Mahomes can trust. And Juju is both of those things. He's also not particularly very good at this point in his career, but he's all those other things. And so, here's the problem. Now teams are going to play a lot of two-shell and just say, hey, look, we're not afraid of you beating us in the middle of the field with Rashee Rice because you have Juju Smith-Schuster there now. And now also, again, Kelsey's a lot more important. And they're going to have to rely a lot more on Kelsey. So, it has a domino effect.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, I think there's a lot of factors here. Do you have a slightly better version of Travis Kelce early in the season if that's when Rice's suspension happens?
Yep.
Because, he's been working out and he's trying to double his focus and all those types of things. So that might help you out a little bit. We know that they can scheme and they can win games. They beat the Buffalo Bills, a very good team in the playoffs last year, to get to the Super Bowl. So they can win without Rashee Rice, but to reach their ultimate goals, they're definitely going to want him out there. Plus, there's knock on wood, they'll have Hollywood Brown as well. So they didn't have him last year at all. So we still should see a better offense even without Rashee Rice. But look, it's not ideal. It's frustrating. It seems like every year somebody's suspended that's important for some reason or another. And it's just, you'd like to have, especially for Patrick Mahomes, to not have to deal with just mountains and mountains of crap and just be able to go in there with the guys that he was in training camp with and see what happens, because it's been a minute.
Well, I agree with all those points. But yeah, this is, again, they took him knowing that there was a risk there.
Yep.
And here we are. Now, that all said, I agree with everything you said, though, in terms of listen, this team went to the Super Bowl last year and was basically scotch taping the entire offense together all season. They won 15 games. The Chiefs have a very good defense. So it's not like they got to go out there and score 35 a game to win. And so, and also, too, listen, let's just, he's out 4 weeks. Let's say it's what it is. If they get out of that 3-1, they're fine. What do they care? I don't mean to be callous about something that's certainly not worthy of being callous about. From a purely inside one Arrowhead drive perspective, I promise you they're sitting there going, great, good, get out of the way, because we just want them to be good and ready for the stretch drive in the playoffs. If you got 8 games, that's how they'd feel. That's just, that would be the mentality. It'd be all right, fine. They'll treat it like it's an injury. They'll treat it like, he pulled his hamstrings out for a month. That's how they'll look at it. Hollywood now becomes more important. Worthy was important anyway, but now maybe steps to the forefront a little bit more than he even was going to. But now it becomes, Juju is probably the third receiver for however long Rice is out. But now Jalen Royals becomes more interesting. They've shown over the years that they don't thrust rookie receivers into the spotlight right away. They didn't with Tyreek Hill. They didn't with Worthy. They didn't with Rice. Those guys, second half of the year, came on more and more and more. You do wonder, though, will he see 15 snaps a game, 20 snaps a game? He's not going to be the starter. It's going to be Juju, I would imagine. But, you factor that in. Because they're going to need somebody. You'll probably see more 2 tight end sets with Kelsey and Gray, and maybe they even rely more on the backs to catch the ball. You've got Rashee Smith coming in, who is a former receiver at SMU. You've got you've got Pacheco who can catch the ball, Hunter who can catch the ball. They will survive it. They'll survive it, but it's a matter of okay, how are they going to adjust while he's suspended?
Verderame, I got to say, your Sky Moore disrespect is alarming.
Honest to God, it is offensive that he's still on the team.
So as we get ready to move off Rashee Rice, I do want to ask you, the Chiefs cut Justyn Ross yesterday.
End of an era, really. He's been on the team for 32nd years. So, yes, he asked to be released.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Can you imagine being Justyn Ross and you're like, listen, I need more of an opportunity.
Yeah.
What?
It's
are you kidding? Hey,
on this team with where they're at right now. Do you think he's sitting there now the next day he realizes Rashee Rice is going to be suspended but you know what though? I guess he's thinking, man, he couldn't get on the field last year. They had nobody. Nobody. And he couldn't get on the field.
What was it? The year prior to that, it was 2023. Like, he actually was like kind of every once in a blue moon, like he'd flash talent, and then he got suspended.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, man, your career's kind of over now. And by the way, because I know this is also something that I've had people ask me on Twitter about today. And so, like, I don't think the Chiefs are going to go out and sign somebody. I mean, they may sign some like lower level, like some guy who's just kind of filling out the bottom of the depth chart type of thing. But I people like Keenan Allen, Gabe Davis, like, I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, they could. They have the cap space, especially now after the Trey Smith thing. But I would also say, if you're the Chiefs, unless the only reason that answer would change is if it's like 8 games or something, then okay, fine. But otherwise, like, if they signed Keenan Allen, what are they doing with Keenan Allen after Rice comes back? Like, then what? I mean, you could just cut him, I guess, but you're probably not going to cut. He's going to want a little bit of money here. I don't see them. I think they probably feel like they have enough. Now, listen, if he's out 8 games or something like that, sure. If Royals is brutal in camp and they sit there and go, oh my God, like, we don't have another receiver to trust, okay. But I'll tell you one guy, man, who I'd give it like a decent look as a guy who could play some snaps is Remigio.
Yeah.
Every time he has been on the field for them, he's been good. And it has been extremely limited, but like, that guy came in as a returner last year and was awesome. And against Denver in week 18, I know the Chiefs are playing nobody, but the Broncos are playing everybody. Remigio, if you watch the film of that game, he was wide open all game long. And Wentz just couldn't throw the football to him. And to be fair to Wentz, he was getting killed. But I do wonder, like, would they give him? I mean, obviously, we're talking about limited snaps. So it's not like he's going to get 70 snaps a game. But I mean, do you feel different? Like, do you think they're going to go out and sign a guy like Keenan Allen or Tyler Boyd or somebody like that? Or are you just like, nah, I think they'll just stick with the guys they have?
It's weird. They seem to do that kind of stuff in the season. Like, if Keenan Allen's still out on the street and then they think they have a need, but it seems like they like to go, like, they have the guys they have and they don't have a lot of slots and they need younger guys. So, like when they traded for Hopkins or some of the other moves, bringing Kareem Hunt back, like they could have had Kareem Hunt on the roster going into last year. If they wanted to, he was out there, he was available, but they felt like they had enough. And I feel like that generally their roster construction is done at this point. That's just how they operate. And then they're like, we know who's out there. We're keeping tabs. And if we need to make a move, we'll make a move. Maybe they get into camp and they're looking at, they're looking at the rookie and they're looking at, Sky Moore running around out there and they're like, all right, we're calling Keenan now. It's possible. Yes. I wouldn't hate that move. I don't know how much, I don't know how much he has left, but he's a veteran. He is a pro. I think he could help you in some of the ways that you got a little bit of help from DeAndre Hopkins last year if you need it with the suspension. But I think you're right about Remigio. Like, he's a lot of people think he's like the last guy that, the last wide receiver on the roster. I mean, if you figure they've got Rashee Rice, Royals, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Juju, you're already at 5. Right. So, Remigio can return. So
I will say this: if they're going to go out and get somebody, go sign Keenan Allen. Yes. Like, I don't want Gabe Davis. First of all, I don't want Gabe Davis in the slot ever. Secondly, like, I mean, and I know he can play there. I know he's been there at times, but like, to me, Gabe Davis's best function is just running down like the field 50 yards and jumping up for a ball and hoping he catches it. Like, I don't want David Boyd. I've long been a Tyler Boyd fan, but I think it's kind of over at this point. Keenan Allen was like reasonably productive with the Bears last year. And that was on an offense where they were throwing to DJ Moore and Rome Odunze, and it wasn't like it was just him and nobody else. Like, if they're going to sign somebody, sign Keenan Allen. He's still a terrific route runner. He's a veteran guy. Like, go out and bring him. And he's the one guy I actually feel like would make an impact on them. Like, also, by the way, if you're him, like, you don't want to go there week 1, you get to play the Chargers. Like, I mean, that would seem, but I just feel like, and this isn't an inside baseball thing. I don't know I haven't asked anybody around the team about this. Like, I just kind of feel like they will try to ride this out. But if they don't, and they're going to sign somebody, I would tell them, go sign Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is the best option of the guys left.
Yeah, he had 70 receptions for 744 yards last year for the Bears. He had a 45-yard reception, 7 touchdowns. That would have put him second on the Chiefs in receiving, and he would have been their leading wide receiver. So,
Yes.
But he's 33 years old, and the NFL's usually pretty right about these things. And so when you see a guy that puts up a season like that, and he's obviously his skills are diminishing a little bit, and then people need receivers. The fact that he's still sitting out there tells you that NFL teams looked at the tape from last year and they projected out what he might continue to look like this year. And they're like, we're not, we're going to go elsewhere. We're going to try younger guys. It's not impossible that he could come in and be very productive. I mean, hell, 2 years ago, he had 1,200 yards, 108 receptions. So, but there's a reason why he's still not signed. And
there is
probably because they don't think he can be too much of a help. We'll see. Okay, let's move on to Trey Smith. Verderame signs a record deal. This from Arrowhead Addict's Matt Connor on his write-up on it. Smith was the recipient of a new 4-year contract. It's worth up to $94 million. The best part is the $70 million in practical guarantees attached. Smith's contract includes a $46.75 million fully guarantee, but there's every reason to believe he'll still be on the roster in March 15th of next year, and that clause guarantees Smith his 2027 salary. Both the average annual value of the $23.5 million and the $70 million in guarantees were records at the position. Smith's contract sets a new market rate for elite guards, and those who fall in the pipeline will be grateful for the advanced terms established. I know the guards and the guard market will be grateful for the Trey Smith deal. Should Chiefs fans be grateful for the Trey Smith deal? What's your take on this, Verderame?
Yeah, I actually think it's a pretty good deal for both sides. Sitting there looking at it, I was able to, what was it, on Tuesday? Was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday they signed him. And was able to talk to a source and find out that $17 million was the signing bonus, which is not a massive signing bonus for a contract $94 million. Look, when you look at his contract year by year, pretty good for Kansas City, honestly. I mean, he's making 14.25 against cap this year, 24.25 against cap next year. Both those years are fully guaranteed. Third year and the fourth year, the cap numbers are the same. They're 27.75. He has his prorated signing bonus each of those 2 years, which is $4.25 million. That is the only guaranteed money left in the last years of his contract. So if you're the Chiefs, it's pretty good. Like, if something really went sideways, they can easily move on after 2 years. Like, easily. They'd save $19.25 million and only $8.5 million. And if they have to move on before 2028, which I'd imagine at that point they would move on or they'd extend them, they would save $23.5 million, eat 4.25, which is just the last year of the prorated signing bonus. So, listen, if you are Trey Smith, you're thrilled. Okay, you got $46.75 million fully guaranteed. All right, and then you also got $70 million total guarantee, injury guarantees. All right, so you're doing pretty good. Like, you have generational wealth now for you, your kids, their kids, so on and so on and so on and so on. I think it's a perfect fit in the sense that, look, the Chiefs. When's the last time we saw the Chiefs? Saw them in New Orleans getting their asses kicked because they couldn't block anybody. You don't want to lose Trey Smith. So they have him and Humphrey now signed each for the next 4 seasons. They just drafted what they're hoping is their franchise left tackle in Joshua Simmons. You were going to find out what you got in Kingsley here at guard, but I think he's a better fit at guard than tackle based on his feet. Like, in a perfect world, you've got 4 fifths of your line just set up for years to come. And then when they finally jettison Juwan Taylor and his bloated salary and they save $20 million after this year, then you can start talking about, okay, who's going to be the right tackle? Is that maybe even Jalen Moore or something like that? Who knows? But the Chiefs had to sign Trey Smith, and Trey Smith got market-setting numbers at full guarantees and average per year. And the Chiefs got one of the top 2 or 3 right guards in football locked up for basically the next half decade.
It's important to remember from Trey Smith's perspective, he was a 6th-round pick. He does not have a ton of career earnings. He helped the Chiefs win a couple Super Bowls. Now you get paid for what they want. You're not getting paid for past performance. They're paying you for future performance, but you got to be happy if you're a Chiefs fan for Trey Smith, not just for what he's done for the franchise, but for what this does for him and his life and what he's overcome to write this NFL fairy tale for himself. Now the Chiefs have 2 of the top 5 most guaranteed dollars in the NFL for interior offensive linemen and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. Is this wise, Verderame? And what does spending this much money on the interior mean at the other positions along the offensive line?
Yeah, it is wise because otherwise it's an expressway. So yes, it is wise. Yes. I mean, it means you have to hit on your draft picks. Well, guess what? The 2 guys on the left side of the line are both draft picks. Suamataia is signed for 3 more years. Simmons is signed for 5. Should they exercise this 5th-year option down the road? When you pay guys, you need to draft well alongside of the other ones. And to their credit, they have done that. Why did they not pay Justyn Reed this offseason? Because they drafted Jaden Hicks. Why did they trade Joe Thuney? Well, because they drafted Trey Smith. Why at some point in time, when Chris Jones walks away, while they have the money, I guess I should rephrase that. When Chris Jones walks away or whatever, however it ends up ending, they're not bereft of talent because they drafted George Karlaftis and they can take that money and move it over there should they want to. You need to draft well. And they've been able to do that consistently, relentlessly. Why did they let L'Jarius Sneed go? Because they have Trent McDuffie. That's where teams get in trouble. Look at the Bengals right now, right? When you don't draft well, you're screwed. That's it. You're not going to overcome that. Even if you have a great quarterback, you may be a winning team with a great quarterback and a bad drafting front office. You're not going to win Super Bowls. You're not. You're certainly not going to sustain, if I could speak, sustain success. So, listen, the key now is you've got to hit on those draft picks. Simmons has to be a hit. Suamataia, in theory, Ellie, can be serviceable. He doesn't have to be great, but he's got to be serviceable. You do that, then you can pay Humphrey and you can pay Smith. And by the time you're paying Simmons, you're not paying either one of those guys anymore on these contracts. So, that's the key. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and they've got a real shot here. If those draft picks work out, the more signing works out, I mean, they could have their line. So they just need to cross their fingers. But you're right. And speaking of expressways, the Bengals defense for offenses is probably going to be pretty much an expressway because they put all their money into that offense. So they better score 70 points a game. I don't get it. I don't know. This isn't a Bengals podcast, just like you said earlier. It's not a Chargers podcast, but I just don't know what they're doing over there. You gotta have some sort of balance if you want to win anything.
By the way, this has nothing to do with football, but I have seen this. Honestly, got probably 150 times. I've been sitting there writing some stuff up for SI. You've seen this thing? I'm sure you have. You're online enough. With this Coldplay concert, with these 2 bozos having an alleged affair.
Oh yeah. I tweeted about it.
Dude, this is one of the funny, I feel bad for us getting cheated on, but in terms of 2 people doing something they shouldn't be doing, getting absolutely bodied. I just saw Riot Fest tweet out something where it's almost time to hold that special person tight at Riot Fest. Get your tickets today, and it's just a picture of those 2.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't remember watching somebody who's almost anonymous, who knows these people, right? It's not like they're unbelievably famous. And this has turned into just whoever this guy was cheating on is going to take him to the cleaners in a way that he will never forget. Because I got the emotional distress and all the rest of it. Yeah. Oh my God. This guy, you want to talk about wanting to just crawl into a hole? This might be it.
Yeah, it's I tweeted a picture of them. So if you're listening on audio or God bless you if you're not on Twitter. People were at a Coldplay concert. They got put up on the Jumbotron. Allegedly, some of them, one of them or both of them, I don't know, might be married and could be having. If I'm using alleged, because I don't want to get sued here. But
correct, yeah.
He's hugging her right around the chest, and they're all snuggled up. And they're having the time of their lives. It is the definition of getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar. If you want to see 2 people go from having the time of their lives to living an absolute living nightmare in the span of 3 seconds. You've got to watch this video. It's unbelievable. The woman throws her hands over her face and turns her back and starts walking away. And the dude literally like shrinks down under a barrier and is maybe army crawling out of the stadium. This happened in Boston. It's unbelievable. I tweeted a picture, a still of them snuggling, saying, you know, Chiefs, people that predict the Chiefs' demise, and then August, and then them at Thanksgiving is them getting caught. So it's a meme. By the way, the best. So apparently this guy's a CEO.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
The woman is, I read, is allegedly the head of HR. She's in the HR department. I saw somebody tweet out the picture of them with the LinkedIn open to work badge around it. And I was like, ooh, that is just brutal.
Dude, it's as bad as it gets. Like it's so embarrassing to get caught at all. But then like in that way, oh my God, man. And it's so funny because here's this guy who allegedly is cheating or whatever. And like just he instantly just dies emotionally. Like, you know, like, hey man, then maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. What are you doing at a Coldplay concert?
Right. Which is the first problem of this, right? Like, let's just be honest about it. You know, that's the first issue. You went to a Coldplay concert. Yeah. And so right off the bat, the woman involved here should have immediately been like, all right, this guy, this can't be good. And then on top of that, there's like, no, it's okay. And like, he's also allegedly married. Like, that's okay too. And oh, look at this. Like, we're rocking a fixture or whatever the fuck they're playing. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, guess what? On the Jumbotron. Oh my God. I mean, it's.
What do you think's going to happen? If you're going to do something that stupid and you're going to step out on your partner, you're supposed to do that stuff in seedy motels off the highway. You know what I mean? Like a self-respecting scumbag. You don't go to the Coldplay concert and like get a box and just flaunt it. By the way, did you see the woman to the right of them? The look on her face. She's got to be a coworker or a friend. Like she
knew something bad was going on.
Oh yeah, and she is dying. Like she is all of us.
Yes,
her face is incredible. It's brutal.
It's so great. Like it's like instant karma, right? Like here's what I'm doing. Oh, look at that. Guess what? And to your point too. Yeah, have some dignity, man. Go to a Motel 8, like everybody else who's cheating on their spouse. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like. Go do the go to the red carpet inn and just do whatever's got to get done. Okay, but I mean it's just so funny. Like 99 times out of 100, if not even more than that, like nobody is in that spot's getting caught, and then like, oh, guess what? Bam. Yeah. Like just and now the whole world has seen this. It's
that's it. That'll be a meme forever. You might as well just. God, yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, you might as well just turn in your cell phone, your computers, go to like Mexico or something and get a job as like a bartender or one of those guys who rakes the seaweed off the beach and never look at a screen again.
Can you imagine? Like, so this guy is he the owner of the company or the CEO of the company?
Supposedly he's the CEO of a company.
Okay. Yeah. Can you imagine the email that's getting sent out to everybody at that company this morning?
Yeah,
you may have seen some things circulating online. Again, no kidding. Like, yes, Bob over here already printed out the picture. It's life sized and it's on the wall like a fat head. Like it's amazing. I know we're way off topic, but that I saw that. I was laughing so hard this morning for a good 5 minutes. Yeah, it's like what an alleged dope. And oh my God, there you go. Have fun, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know what they'll both start podcasts after this and make $1 million. That's what happens to people these days. So all right, let's move on. Yeah,
he's gonna need it.
He's gonna need it.
Yeah.
So listen, one of your colleagues in the insider space, the infamous Ricky. Ricky says Ricky's right about stuff for Verderame. I don't know who he is, but I don't think he's guessing.
Respect.
Ricky on Twitter is it's a random account. Nobody knows who it is, but seems to have legitimate information, has broken deals first, or is just really good at guessing. Has also said that was on the Trey Smith thing, said it was going to get done. And then also said that George Karlaftis is next, says that it's probably going to happen during camp, but they're close to an extension. Are you surprised they're addressing George when a lot of people are screaming, hey, extend McDuffie?
So look, I have not done any reporting on this. And I'm not taking anything away from Ricky because he's had some misses, but he's had a lot of hits, and kudos to him. Let's assume that the report is accurate. Fine. I'm not surprised in this regard. Look, Karlaftis is not going to reset the market. McDuffie is. I would argue it's actually a harder contract to negotiate than McDuffie. Like, let's say that no other corners signed between now and whenever McDuffie puts pen on paper. Okay, great. It's getting $31 million a year. Like, how hard is that contract to do, right? I mean, yeah. You're talking about, okay, structure and all that, but like whatever the guarantees are, they're going to be a little bit more than what Sauce got and whatever. Like, it's just, that's the way those things work. That's why the Trey Smith contract throughout the whole process kept saying, I mean, this isn't that hard of a contract. Like, this is just pretty easy, quite honestly. Karlaftis is more difficult because he's not going to reset the market. So, like, where does he slot in? Okay, so Greg Rousseau got $480, and I've been talking about this contract a lot the last week because to me, this is the contract that I'm looking at going, all right, are you going to pay him more than Greg Rousseau? I think the answer is, yeah, you are. Like, you are going to pay him more. And just to illustrate the point so people aren't like, well, you're saying like you're a Chiefs fan. Listen. So I like Greg Rousseau. He's a good player. He was drafted a year before Karlaftis, and he's been a starter the whole time. It's not like he became a starter last year. So Rousseau in his career has played 62 regular season games. He has 25 sacks, 46 tackles for loss, and 66 quarterback hits. Okay. In a year less, so in 49 regular season games, Karlaftis has 24 and a half sacks, which is a half sack less. He has 24 tackles for losses, which is where Rousseau does get him. He's got 46, way ahead. And then Karlaftis has 56 quarterback hits. Rousseau's only got 66. So, like, on a per year basis, it's really not that close. Like, he's the better pass rusher, where Rousseau, to his credit, has some tackles for loss. But here's one other thing that I do think matters. Rousseau has played 9 playoff games in his career. He has 3 sacks. Karlaftis has played in 10 playoff games. He has 8. He's led the league each of the past 2 years in sacks in the playoffs. He also has double the tackles for loss in the playoffs that Rousseau does. So the point I'm making is, if Rousseau's getting 480, I think Karlaftis is going to get more than that. Like, he has to. He's going to sign later on. He's the better player. Are you going to go 4 and 100? Like, is it 4 and 92? Very similar to Trey Smith. That's where, that is the harder contract. And also, like, are you going to pay him? You know, my answer to that is I think you should, because Jones isn't going to be around forever. And if you lose Karlaftis and Jones, who the hell's rushing the quarterback? That would be my big fear. So I do think they should extend him. I just think that's a harder contract to get done. Also, by the way, the tag number for McDuffie, even with the recent corner contracts, is going to be a lot lower than an edge rusher's contract. You see what TJ Watt just got paid? Like, the tag is lower for McDuffie, and I think that's the easier contract to do. So I'm not surprised if that is the case, if they're looking at Karlaftis first.
Yeah, and shout out to Sam and Sammy Joe for the super chat. It says, how much will Rice extension be? More than McDuffie? Is he talking about Rashee Rice?
Sorry, I was drinking water. Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I mean, listen, Sammy, I would tell you this. I think it's impossible to know what Rashee Rice is looking at down the road. Yeah. I mean, is he going to do something dumb again? Is he not? Is he going to be the guy that we saw in the first 3 games of last year where you're like, this guy's 1,500 yards all day long? I mean, I guess I'd put it this way. If he stays on the right path and he plays like that guy for 2 more years, he's probably going to get paid like $35 million a year minimum. Okay. if he has another run in, if he takes a year to really come back off that knee injury, then I think it's a lot more murky. And also, here's the other thing, though, that Karlaftis and McDuffie you don't have to deal with. What if Worthy's awesome? Like, what if Worthy comes out this year and has 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns, and he's just incredible? Like, then what? Maybe the Chiefs go, yeah, you know what? We're not paying Rice. We're going to pay Worthy, and we'll just, play it out and tag him or something. Like, I think Rice is a lot more of an unknown moving forward than Karlaftis and McDuffie.
Yeah. And Rice better stay on the straight and narrow because he's on probation for 5 years.
Jail time is looming if he doesn't.
He messes that up, they'll reopen that case and he'll violate the terms of the deal and he's in trouble. So, by the way, you mentioned Greg Rousseau. I just want you to know, signed Greg Rousseau, free agency, pretty good deal in my Madden franchise that is in the year 2034. And he still got it, man. 10.5 sacks he had for me in 2034. Wow.
So he's aged nicely for you.
Yeah. He wants to re-sign though. I don't know. He's getting up there. But yeah, it was good signing by me. Veach, give me a call if you want some tips on how to get good pass rushers. You listen to the Arrowhead Addict podcast. This is the OG Hour. Patrick Allen, Sports Illustrated's Matt Verderame here with you, talking Chiefs news. And now we're going to move on to our next segment, which is Chiefs Start, Sit, Cut, where I'm going to ask Verderame, give him 3 Chiefs, historic, famous Chiefs, not famous Chiefs, just okay Chiefs. And he's going to tell me who he'd keep, who he'd start, who he'd sit on the bench, and who he would cut. And by the way, if you want to be a member of the Arrowhead Addict podcast, support our work here, check out the link in the description. Now's the time to get in, man. We're going to be the private Discord for members is firing up. Football is right around the corner. We're going to have the Hall of Fame game. We're getting ready to start the Fantasy Football League. Like, now is the time if you want to support the show and become part of our Chiefs community. Be in there with all the hosts. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Chiefs Start, Sit, Cut. So I tried to avoid hey, Mahomes, Brody Croyle, and you know what I mean? Like ones like that. So I'm going to start you off though with quarterbacks. Start, sit, cut. Trent Green, Alex Smith, Chiefs, Joe Montana.
Chiefs, Joe Montana. All right. Trent Green, Alex Smith. All right. It's interesting. I'm assuming this is kind of for 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, Montana was still really good with them, but he was hurt a lot. I guess I would, you know what, man, because of the injuries with him at times, he only played 11 games the first year. I'll say I would start Trent Green. I would sit Montana and I'd cut Smith because, if you told me Montana was going to be healthy for the whole season, I would take Montana. But he just had a lot of injuries. His 93 season, he held Dave Craig almost played as many snaps as Montana did that year. He played in 11 games. So if you're telling me he's healthy, I'm starting Montana. Otherwise, give me Green to start, Montana to be on the bench, and then I would cut Smith.
I'm with you on that one. Trent Green has a higher ceiling than all of those guys.
Trent Green's really good for them.
Yeah, he was really good. But you know what I might do, honestly, if I still got Joe Montana on the roster and I get into the playoffs and he's healthy,
put him in there.
I'd probably put him in there. I might bench Trent Green. That's Joe Montana. I just need him for these 4 games or whatever. So,
yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is wide receivers: Dwayne Bowe, Eddie Kennison, Willie Davis.
Okay. Dwayne Bowe, Eddie Kennison, Willie Davis. I would start Dwayne Bowe. I would. God, that's the easy one for me is that I'd start him. I'm trying to think. Eddie Kennison. It's my dog comes running in. Eddie Kennison. I would sit Kennison and I would start. I'd start Bowe. Hi, how you doing, you? Bowe, and then I would cut Willie Davis. Willie Davis was underrated, and I feel like if Willie Davis had played in a different era for the Chiefs, he would have been a 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, he was good. He was underrated. He was good for the Chiefs. That was a fun one. Eddie Kennison, man, He was a dog.
He was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a good player.
Yeah, he was good. Okay, let's go to the defensive tackle position and start, sit, cut. Dontari Poe, Mike Pennell, or Big Ron Edwards.
All right. By the way, I'd like to point out that my daughter, the only thing she came in for was a Reese's Mini, and then she got it and just walked right out. They didn't say hi.
That's a chip off the old block.
Yeah, she's a monster. Hilarious kid. All right, that one is the easiest one of the three for me. I would start Poe, I would sit Pennell, and I would cut Edwards. Poe was really good, man. Like, it wasn't a long-lived prime, but like when he was good, he was really good. Like, I'm pretty sure he was an all-pro 1 year. Like, he was a pretty good player. It ended up like actually sticking around the league. Like, he played 9 years in the NFL. He was a 2-time Pro Bowl. Yeah, second team All-Pro. So he was good. He kind of gets lost in the shuffle because they had Tamba and Derek Johnson and like all these other guys. But yeah, he was a damn good player. Yeah,
he was. It was just fun bringing up old Ron Edwards. Going some deep cuts here. All right. Start, sit, cut. Let's go to cornerbacks. Brandon Flowers, Marcus Peters, L'Jarius Sneed.
That's really hard. That's really. So anyone who knows me from way back when I was a contributor on Arrowhead Pride, my username was Flowers24. That was big. I think I still have a Brandon Flowers jersey somewhere in my closet. That's brutal, man. I will start Sneed from the standpoint that I think at his best, he was the best of those three guys. I know he didn't even make the Pro Bowl. 2023 is the best corner in the NFL. I mean, nobody could throw a pass against him. It was unbelievable. He didn't have the sustained success that Flowers had and even that Peters had. But that year, that's the best year I've ever seen a Chiefs corner have. It was insane.
He was locked.
It was unbelievable. I mean, he didn't give up a touchdown pass all season. It was So I would start him. Peters was certainly the ball hawk. Flowers played for them longer. You know what, man? I'll just go with my heart a little bit of this one. I'll say I think it's close. I'll say Flowers to sit and Peters to cut. But I mean, it depends what you're looking for. Peters was a damn good player in his own right for them, despite some of his issues.
Yeah, Peters at his best was really good. Flowers was a good player, was consistent, fan favorite. This was a fun one to put together because I was like, can I try to get some people real in the same ballpark?
Yeah, that was the best. That was a tough one.
Yeah. All right, running back. Jamal Charles, Priest Holmes, Christian Okoye. Okay.
I am of the belief that if Jamal Charles ran behind Priest Holmes' offensive line, he would have rushed for 2,500 yards in the season. I'm not even exaggerating. I really think like he would have set every record known to man. I am starting him. I don't know that he'll ever get to the Hall of Fame. He probably won't. He should. Like just in terms of like his level of talent, he's a Hall of Fame level player. I would sit Holmes and I'd cut Okoye. Okoye was awesome, but Okoye is like kind of more of a legend than he was like an all-time. Like if you actually look at his numbers, he was really good for like 2 years. People just remember him because he's just great guy and he's this incredible personality and Nigerian Nightmare and Tecmo Super Bowl. But yeah, Charles, Holmes, and then Okoye.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But there are some people. There are always fierce debates on Chiefs Twitter about Jamal Charles and Priest Holmes,
which are fair. Holmes was incredible. Holmes had the best 3-year stretch of any running back in NFL history, and it's not debatable. It's unbelievable how dominant he was for those 3 years.
Yeah. And lastly, here, this is a fun one: X Factor, Chiefsaholic, or a Raiders jersey.
I kind of can please cut all three.
You got to choose.
Oh my God, X Factor,
Chiefsaholic, and a Raiders jersey.
All right, I'm trying to refresh my memory without like saying something I can't see. There was some extemporaneous stuff with X Factor, was there not?
Oh yeah. Do you remember when
quite a bit?
Do you remember when he got clocked at Arrowhead and got banned because he got in a fight? And then he called the news station, and they had that clip. He came out of he was out of the hospital, but he was still wearing the hospital clothes, and he was holding his ribs, and he was limping. And then he said,
man.
and I quote, "You know, Jesus was persecuted. I'll come back fighting." And I know when I think of our Lord Jesus Christ, I think right next to him in levels of person getting crucified.
Yeah, who doesn't?
What a complete lunatic.
I think because of all this stuff off the field, so to speak, I think I got to cut X Factor, man.
Over the bank robber?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can I start the bank robber over a Raiders jersey?
I would. Yeah, at least he's a Chiefs fan.
I kind of appreciate the fact that he was just like, I'm just taking money and going to games.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, obviously you don't condone it, but also wasn't committing physical crimes.
Well, except the gun he pointed at that one poor woman at the.
Oh, that is true. I forgot that he pointed a gun at somebody.
Yeah,
it's not great.
That woman.
That's
he's
not good.
A scumbag.
Forgot about the gun part of it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got to start the jersey. But I am going to still take him over X Factor as a human being, which I can't believe that's even possible. But here we are.
Imagine
dude, if they go back to the Super Bowl this year, I might pitch to SI, let me go sit in a jail cell with Chiefsaholic and watch the Super Bowl, and I'll write about it.
Yeah. Oh,
what is that like? You know? But yeah.
I don't know, man. That guy wants to go to Chiefs games so bad, he might murder you and wear your skin to get out of jail.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to fight fair in jail. Let him try. We'll see what happens. But that's a man. You really need to just cut all three there. That's that's a bad situation all the way around.
To be clear, those guys are such big scumbags. You had to start the Raiders jersey. I mean, that's a low.
Well, here, you know what? I'll give you one because I thought this is where you might go with this.
Okay.
I'll give you one for this game. Nick Lowry, Jan Stenerud, Harrison Butker.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go. Have fun. I'll have some water and we'll see you figure that out.
Oh, Lowry thinks he should be in the Hall of Fame. Jan is.
He doesn't have a vote.
Yeah. Butker, oh, man. That's hard. Is Jan still the only kicker?
No, Morton Anderson.
Morton
who also is on the Chiefs, by the way. And you got to adjust, obviously, Stenerud. His numbers are nowhere near the other guys because he kicked in a much different era. But he was easily the best kicker of all time when he retired. Not even close. I mean, to the point, as you mentioned, he was the only pure kicker in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think if I'm picking right now, and I am picking right now, as disgusting as it feels to say, I think I got to cut Jan, and then I got to start Butker
tough day for Jan.
and bench Lowry, just because they're here. I know they can do it in the modern game, and that's my team is the modern game. So Butker's he's unbelievable. I think he's going to have a Hall of Fame case, and if he keeps it up, and he's the clutch kicks. He's getting into Vinatieri.
That's what it is.
Territory.
Because really, by the way, I would swap Stenerud and Lowry, but I would have started Butker. So I'm with you there. The funny thing with Butker, he has never made a Pro Bowl, and yet I think, honest to God, he's got a shot at the Hall of Fame for the reason you said, is because it's the amount of huge kicks he's hit. Yeah. That's the thing people remember. Or these, Vinatieri was a great kicker, sure, but Vinatieri wasn't. Morton Anderson was a better kicker. Gary Anderson was a better regular season kicker. But when you think about Adam Vinatieri, that's what you think about, right? You think about these massive kicks. I mean, Vinatieri in his career kicked, he was 83.8%, which, by the way, fine. But in today's day and age, I mean, he played 24 years and was a Pro Bowler 3 times. What stands out with Butker, as you already said, by the way, shout out to Butker. He turned 30 this week. In his playoff career, he's almost impossibly great. Like so if you look in his entire playoff career, he is 36 of 40 for 90%, and he missed his first one. So he's 36 of his last 39. He on kicks, let's make sure I'm right with this. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. On kicks from 50 and over in the playoffs. Now, mind you, they play in a lot of cold weather.
Yeah.
He is 6 of 7 in 50 and over. And in 40 to 49, he's 7 of 9. Like, the guy just doesn't miss massive. He just does not miss them. So, yeah, I mean, and he's 67 to 70 on extra points. I mean, he's in the playoffs. Who else would you rather have kicking? I mean, I would argue other than Vinatieri, probably, right? Like, he's probably the guy. You'd probably pick him. In all of NFL history, probably him.
Big pressure kicks. Big pressure kicks. Jeremy says this is a fun one. Lynn Elliott, D Ford, Bob Sutton.
I just grab a thing of Clorox and head for the road.
Yeah. You got it. Honestly, though.
I mean, D Ford's getting the start, though, right? I mean, come on.
Well, but from an impact.
So
like
are we
Bob
talking
Sutton,
about
right?
like the person themselves or like the mistake that they made?
Yeah, because like if you like Lynn Elliott, as bad as that was, I don't know. Are they going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh,
like
God,
that
no.
D
They'd
Ford.
see Bono. Hell
Yeah,
no.
right. So even though it sucked and it was painful, same thing with the Bob Sutton team. Like they weren't winning the Super Bowl. So D Ford, even though he's was a good player and a good pass rusher, I think he'd be the guy I'd cut because they could have won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they could have. I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. If you're looking at it from your perspective, then yeah, that was the worst. Like, I've also now we can all talk about this because like they've won a billion Super Bowls and nobody's that upset about it anymore. The Lynn Elliott thing, I'm going to let everybody in a little secret if you're not old enough to know that game. Steve Bono is the reason they lost that football game. Okay, not taking it away. Lynn Elliott sucked. The man was kicking in like -10. Steve Bono was out there looking like me playing quarterback in the NFL. I mean, that game, how Marty didn't yank him out of that game, I'll never understand it as long as I live. Like, and he finally did, by the way, for the last series. He was abominable in that game to the point that, like, I don't know, I hate myself, and I've gone back and watched it. He was 11 of 25 for 122 yards with 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Like, that's impossible to be that bad. Okay, so yes, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, D Ford made the most consequential mistake, and then yeah, it's probably like, I don't know, man. I'd still even put Bob Sutton ahead of him. Bob Sutton was just, oh my God, Bob Sutton cost him multiple playoff games.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Good call out from Jeremy. Okay, before we get out of here, it's time for Paddy's Power Rankings.
Let's do it.
And this one, I dug into the archives from one of our members, suggested this a long time ago, and we haven't gotten to it yet. B. Smizzy suggested road trip snacks, your top 3 favorite. I'll kick us off with my number 3, combos.
Dude.
Underrated.
Yes.
Like, it's a snack that I'm never eating any other time than when I'm on a road trip.
Correct.
Right? Like, you're
It's
not just like going to the store.
Like, the first thought I had was combos.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we will clock in together there at 3 because that was literally the first thing I thought. Like, combos.
Number 2 for me, and if you drive the same route that I do when I go back to Ohio, is Sbarro Pizza. These a lot of these rest stops now in Indiana and Illinois, like they're just all uniform.
Yeah,
it's not like back in the old days. Yeah, it's not. And Sbarro is one of like your 3 options at a lot of these rest stops. And you know what? I'm gonna say it's not bad. I don't think it's that bad.
As an Italian, I have to say it's bad. Yeah. But you could do worse. Yeah. Number 2 for me is just a good old fat, just a bagel. I'm a big bagel guy, New Yorker, all that. Like just a good, it's good bagel. And for people out there who are like, that's not a snack. Yeah, bro, it is actually. Okay.
Yeah.
When you're 6'2", 235, it's a snack. It's for me, a bagel always hits the spot.
Okay, good number 2. For me, this is not going to come as a surprise to anybody. My number 1 is Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah, it's
Okay.
You have to worry about melt. That's the only thing. Smart to bring a cooler, with you, so you don't, you can get out and you have to worry about it melting in the car. But I mean, you just can't go wrong driving down the highway, listening to some tunes, eating a Reese's peanut butter cup, living your best life.
I will go number 1. I will just chips, man.
Yeah.
Like just a good old fat. By the way, I don't know if you ever had these. You ever have the Zapp's voodoo chips?
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Dude, those are unbelievable, man.
They're really good.
I saw a big bag of them at like a 7-Eleven, and it took everything I had not to buy it. I was like, if I buy this,
You're eating the whole bag.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no world this bag is making it back to the house. So I just
that's
got like
okay.
a little like,
It's okay. But it's like airport rules, right? Like when you're in the airport, you can drink. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
It's true.
Airport rules. When you're on a road trip, you have such limited options. You're in the car for a long time, many hours. You just have to keep yourself awake. You have to keep yourself going. You need whatever garbage. It's okay to eat an entire bag of chips on a road trip. It doesn't count. Your body actually, people don't know this, doesn't actually count the calories. It's just all. It's
Wouldn't
all
that
fuel.
be great? If you could just have like certain instances in your life, your body's like, look, don't worry about it. It's fine. But great. You can eat 12,000 calories worth of Oreos. Here we go.
Yeah. I'd eat hot fudge sundaes for every meal. That's what I would do. If that's the case.
Like, I just got back from New York and I spent the entire vacation barely eating meals because I was like, I'm going out and getting ice cream sundaes. I don't care.
Yep.
And got back and jumped on the scale and was like, lost a pound. Awesome.
Amazing.
It's like, great. Didn't eat breakfast or lunch the whole trip. But was just pounding down peanut butter sundaes, just not stop. Like, that's all right.
We're going up to Wisconsin to the lake house next week. We're leaving on Thursday, and it's for the annual lobster boil that they have up there.
Amazing.
And my wife is like, "What are you getting?" Because they do the lobsters,
right?
And you buy that, and they give you a potato or whatever, or you could get the steak, big ribeye. And she's like, "What are you getting? What are you getting?" And I'm like, "I'm getting both."
She's like, "Hey, both, yeah."
It's like $40 or whatever for each, and she's like, and I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "But it's a big steak and a big lobster tail." I'm like, "I don't care. It's the lobster boil.
Sorry.
I'm going up there. I'm gonna sit in the park on the water and drink beer and stuff my face."
Yeah, it'd be disgusting. It's fine.
Try to set a good example for my son.
You're good. Listen, it's time people got to learn. Where do you go in Wisconsin?
It's a little town called Fontana, which is on Lake Geneva. That's the lake, which Lake Geneva is huge. So there's all kinds of places around there. There's Lake Geneva proper downtown, which is beautiful. Fontana is where our family has a place, and it's just it's a little village. There's like 2 bars. Chuck's Lakeshore Inn, which is awesome. If you're ever in there, you gotta go to Chuck's. But there's just a couple bars right there on the water, a nice park, and it's just a small little town. But it's it's awesome for the 4th of July, and the lobster boil is a really cool thing they do in the park every year. It's for like the Lions Club or one of those types of things.
That's cool. Yeah, we're a couple hours north of that. I think we might go up there tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can handle any more driving, but maybe. We're going up there next weekend with my wife's friends who are nice people. I like them both. They have 4 kids under the age of 7.
Yeah,
and I can't express to you how drunk I'm going to be. All 6 kids in the house are going to get a real education on what vodka does when you start drinking at 9 a.m. She's like, it's going to be great. There's going to be all of us and 6 little kids in the house for the week. I was like,
6 kids.
My God.
I might be able to one up you there. And that Mag's sister, when we went up for the 4th of July, has twins who are 3, and then a 1-year-old son who's 4 months older than Rory. So we had 2 3-year-olds melting down, 2 1-year-olds who you're trying not to let them kill themselves, and then three dogs.
No dogs. Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's going to be 2 7-year-olds, 2 3-year-olds, a 5-year-old, and a 4-month-old.
You got an infant?
Yep.
That's
it's not my infant.
Yeah, but I mean, it wins. It's from like a chaos factor. A 4-month-old?
4-month-old, yeah.
They're going to be feeding it nonstop. And then I'll
tell you right now, I already told Stephanie. I was like, just so you know, vodka train's pulling at the station at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, I'm setting up. We got a bounce house up there that we just like blow up, whatever. It's best $200 I've ever spent in my life. I'm gonna listen. I'll set it up. It'll be great. You can go nuts. I don't care. Just know that by noon, I am going to be blackout face down on the couch because I am not looking to play like the role of dad for 6 kids. So,
Maisie, you're in charge.
1,000%. 1,000%. She take the pontoon out. I don't care. Have a nice time. Bye.
Amazing. All right, everybody. This was fun. Good to have Matt back on the show. We'll see him in a couple of weeks. Anything you got going on over at Sports Illustrated people could check out? I saw you did the 32 teams in 32 days. That was a really good read. And you had something out today, too. Oh, God, what was it? I read it, for God's sake.
I honestly don't know. The AFC rivalries.
Yeah, the rivalries. That's a fun read as well.
Thanks. Yeah. It was good. Yeah, I would say the one thing that I've got going that I would encourage people to read because it's literally 5,500 words. So everybody's doing the quarterback rankings, and like I do them during the season, quarterly, and it's fine. I rank the quarterbacks, but based on how I think they'll be ranked at the end of the season, not like now, like how they will be judged, like how people will feel about them January 1st.
Yep. And
I will give you a little caveat here. A guy who has never taken a snap in the NFL is in the top 10, and Justin Herbert is not. So, and it's in depth. Like it's an in-depth piece. Not some bullshit bozo, like 2 sentences. I really put like a lot of effort into it. So that is going out on Friday. And if people would like to check that out, I would sincerely appreciate it.
If Friday is in tomorrow?
As in tomorrow, I look forward to being screamed at relentlessly by all 7 Chargers fans.
That's a great. Well, you should go up to the lake. That'll be a great read for you heading into the weekend. Make sure you check out all Matt's work over there. Check out his show, the Matt Verderame show, and all the other things he's got going on. And
3 pods a week now. My dad is doing 1 a week with me, so that's going to be. He's excited. It's going to be fascinating.
Hey, listen, side thing, and I know you got enough going on, and they're not going to pay you any extra to do it, but
I'm not doing it.
I'm toying around with the Knicks podcast.
Oh my God! They gotta pay me extra to do that.
Yeah. It's I'd love to. Just maybe we can get you on as a guest at the very least.
Dude,
it'll be
come on. Yeah.
Must what? Yeah. And when I say I'm toying around with a Knicks podcast, I'm not going to be doing it. But I help oversee podcasts.
Listen, media's in charge here. They sign the checks. If they want me to do something with the Knicks, I'm happy to pop up. I don't think they want me doing a full-time Knicks podcast. Yeah. But if they would like me to pop on here or there and scream at the Knicks when they lose some stupid games to Toronto, I'm here.
I think it'd be must-see TV. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate our listeners and, of course, our members. So if you want to become a member, check out that link in the description. Make sure you support Factor. Make sure you support Verderame. And thank you to producer Richard for getting us up and running. We'll be back tomorrow with Freaky Friday and Adam Best. But until then, as always, go Chiefs.